everyone. Now, pensioners feeling the financial pinch are set to get some much-needed relief. Under a new scheme, local councils will be offering generous rates rebates that would see some seniors pocket an extra $450 a year.
Yes, Christopher Zinn from the 50 Up Club is here to explain what you can claim in your state. Welcome.
Good morning.
This is a win for pensioners. You say a lot of Aussies don't even realise that these benefits are out there.
We've actually always had rebates and discounts, but look, in some areas it is actually going up. But the problem is people either weren't aware of them or were put off by the kind of paperwork and the eligibility criteria, or felt there was some kind of stigma and actually didn't go for it. And the point is, it's out there, you should use it, you deserve it, you just need to do a little bit of work and then you can, I say, get some big discounts on rates.
Well, how much can we get back? Let's start with the East Coast, first of all. So what sort of rebates
would
you get
in some of them we can see that, for example, in New South Wales can be $250.
Right.
That can be a yearly rebate. I mean, I would say check with your council. If you're in the city of Sydney, it's actually free, and that's not bad.
No rates at all?
No rates if you're a pensioner in that area. And again, we'll see Blacktown, that is a rebate, and there's an increase of another $200. So it's worth taking advantage of.
Yeah,
so each council sort of sets their own rate rebate.
Well, there's sort of there's a state level and there's a council level, and in fact there's even a bit of federal input into this as well. But don't make it too complicated. You need to speak to the council. So if we look, for example, elsewhere on the East Coast, I think it's going to be in Victoria. You know, it's $208. So that's the kind of yearly rebate that you can get. And again, there is some plus. That is on top of the 148, for example, you get in the city of Port Phillip. I don't want to confuse people too much with all the various figures because there are so many councils and it works in different ways. And some are rebates and some are refunds. But you know, it is, as economists would say, money on the table. And I think we're going to look at Queensland.
Yes, I think we do have some numbers on Queensland, don't we?
Again, $200. And again, that's, you know, not an insignificant sum, and we're hearing a lot about the pension changing and some people being cut off. Logan City, that's a particularly good one because there's the 200 plus 317. So again, you know, Logan is an area where there's quite a bit of a disadvantage. I'll bet you there's some people really doing it hard to pay their rates, and actually, you know, that's where they can need the help.
Absolutely.
So how do we find out what our council does and how do we make a claim?
Look, you contact your council. It's as simple as that. I did it and just looked up my council online, and I'm not quite eligible as a pensioner, but if you have a Veterans Affairs card, if you have a seniors card, if you meet the eligibility, they can make it happen. So it's a simple phone call to them and do them. And in WA, there's different system, and South Australia as well.
Let's talk about South Australia. So what sort of rebates do you get there?
Yeah, it's going up. So there's a small increase. There is some coming and going in terms of this rebate issue. So yeah, South Australia are getting a small increase. But the important thing is if you rent, and of course people who rent are sometimes left out of this, but renters can get $100 and it can be used for all sorts of other bills. And I might just say quickly that you can get rebates in certain states for your electricity bill, for example, in New South Wales. So again, it's not just council rates, it can be water rates and some of those utilities.
Amazing.
So again, do check because you need to do it. And we'll look at WA as well because we don't want to miss them out. That's always very important. 50% off, that's not bad. If a shop said 50% off, I think you'd go in pretty quick.
Absolutely.
And that, from next year, there's going to be a cap on that, but hopefully that would cover most people. So it's well worth finding out a bit of information, taking a little action.
It's almost an incentive, isn't it, for people to kind of move to those areas too. If they're going to get a decent... Like, if they're not paying any rates in the city of Sydney, why wouldn't you go and live there?
Well, you would do, although it's kind of, you can't move house that easily.
Well, no, that's true.
I think it should be a great thing if the councils competed with each other to give us better value.
To lure, people in there. So the message is, I guess, that there are rebates and discounts available, so go to your council.
They are.
Or call
Don't be
them.
put off because it seems complicated. People can help you through it, and it's worth the effort, because once you've done it, then of course it happens on an annual level, and the more then you'll find out there's more things and more, and as I've said, hardship provisions. If you're getting into trouble, if you tell them early, they can space out the payments, which can avoid a lot of trouble down the track.
So go to the council, flash your seniors card, tell them that you want a discount.
It always helps.
See what they've got for you.
Great
Good advice,
yeah.
Christopher. Thank you, mate.